Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing a full set on toes, but I'm going to be doing acrylic overlay. I repeat, I do not put tips on toes. They do not belong on toes, only on hands. So the color I'm going to be using is Cover Nude by Mia Secret, and I already prepped the nails off camera, but if you want to know how I prep the nails, please watch my previous videos because I have a lot of videos on toes. And I'm using Young Nail Swipe to, I use Young Nail Swipe to dust the nails off, and I use Young Nails Protein Bond. And for the Young Nails Protein Bond, you're going to apply that to the nails 2 times, and I promise you, you won't have no lifting at all if you apply it correctly. So if you watch my previous videos, you know I always say I add acetone, like 2 or 3 drops of acetone into my monomer, so that way I can have full control of the acrylic. So for this nail, I did go in with a pretty big bead. I don't know why I picked up all that acrylic, but I'm gonna fix it. The only thing I do is if I pick up a really big bead, I just kind of like still work with the bead, pat it into place, and then I will use my cuticle pusher, but like the tip of the cuticle pusher to kind of like cut it. You're gonna watch me do it, but I want to cut it and then shape it into the square shape that I want it to be. Doing acrylic overlay on toes is similar to doing an acrylic overlay on nails. Everything that you do on your nails is basically the same thing you're going to do on your feet, but without a tip. So because I don't put nail tips, I have to create a fake nail or create the illusion of a nail being there. So when I place my bead down, I do not place it too close to the cuticle area because you still do not want to flood the cuticle area. And because the toenails are very small, you don't really have that much nail on a toenail because it's small, but you kind of want to make sure you do not flood the cuticle area and that you're not letting the acrylic run over into the gaps, because that can cause lifting. Like I said, I always add a few drops of acetone into my monomer because that's going to help you have full control of your acrylic, especially if your acrylic is too runny. Being a toe tech, well, nail tech or toe tech, but especially a toe tech, you have to be very careful. You have to know exactly what you're doing. Not everybody like to do toes, and I understand that, but not everybody are meant to do toes. You have to know what you're doing because you can cause your client to damage their toenail, or if they come to you with a already damaged toenail, you could damage it even more. So you have to know what you're doing when it comes to doing toes. So if you're a beginner and you want to get into toes, please do your research first before you go and apply acrylic to somebody's toenail. Please practice on yourself first before you do it on other people. It's easier for you to do it on yourself because if you mess up yourself, then that's you. But versus you messing up on somebody else, and you could get sued, or they could lose a toenail. Like, it's a lot of things could go behind acrylic toes. You have to know what you're doing. A lot of people is like, acrylic toes are bad for you, it's bad for you, it's bad for you, but they really don't know what comes with the acrylic toes. You have to keep up with your maintenance. You have to make sure you're going to a nail tech that knows what they're doing, and you have to make sure you're not ripping your acrylic toenails off. You have to make sure they're using the correct monomer on your toes. You have to make sure they're not applying tips. It's a lot of things that goes behind acrylic toes, but just because they see one person's toe is damaged, or they see a picture on IG, oh, this person's feet got fungus and this and this and that, it's a lot that probably happened to that person, and that's why it got to that point. Not everybody had the same story when it comes to acrylic toes. And do not worry about how thick the nails is. Please trust the process. Make sure you're cleaning underneath the nail so that way the client toenail, her natural nail, can actually have room to grow, and you can clean it up with the nail drill, but you have to make sure it's not stuck to the client's skin. So you have to have that space underneath there so the drill can easily go underneath and clean it. But keep on watching because I'm gonna get to that point. So now it's time to take down the acrylic. You want to make sure you have a bit that's strong enough to take down your acrylic and you're not going to cut your client. So a lot of time people be scared to use the drill because it is easy to cut your client and it is nerve-wracking. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be all right. So now I'm going to be using this cuticle bit just to get around the free edge and around the cuticle area and get underneath the nail. This cuticle bit I get from Amazon and it is listed on my Amazon storefront. The link will be listed down below. lastly, I'm going to use my sanding bit. Using the sanding bit after you're done drilling, it always leaves like a very fresh, smooth surface. So I love using my sanding bit after I'm done. And if you haven't tried it, try it, because it just give it the look I need. So try using the sanding bit after, and you don't have to use a brand new one. You can use the same sanding bit that you use on your client when you was prepping their toenail or their fingernail. Y'all, I said use the same sanding bit you use on that client, not the same sanding bit you used on 3 other clients over and over. No, one sanding bit for one client. Every client should have their own sanding bit. It's not reusable. That is so disgusting. I used to hate when I go to the Chinese spot and I see they trying to use the same sanding bit they use on 3 other people. Like, no, take it off, throw it away. It's only like $5 for 100. I don't know why they feel as if they cannot change out the sanding bit. Change out your sanding bits. That's disgusting. So this client, she wanted her square to be square but rounded. Y'all know I love a square shape. But I'm using my 80/80 grit nail file, and I'm just gonna kind of like round the edges for her. So now I'm going to be going in with my French tip. I'm using Madame Glam Perfect Black gel polish, and I'm just going to draw on the Frenchies, dry it in the lamp for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to use the chrome on her nails. But when you're doing the chrome, you do not want to wipe off that sticky layer off the gel polish, because that's what you're going to use to apply the chrome. You're gonna need that sticky layer for the chrome to stick. So this is the final look. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Bye. See you on Thursday.